when did it become a thing to be like, oh, the way you turn into a zombie is you get bitten by a zombie, and if you die any other way, you're fine?
In that case, I think the first time I know of that is like the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder. I think he said it's just bites.
Of course, okay. It's Zack Snyder that has to go ruin stuff.
So this is the zombie plan idea. So I guess we just all go around, and the idea would be, okay, let's imagine there's George Romero style zombies outbreak happening right now all over the world. So that means they're slow, they're not smart, and the downside is anyone who dies from anything, whether it be cancer or a zombie bite, they become a zombie. So that's something you're going to have to keep in mind if someone, in your group starves to death or something like that, or they just, get old or something. Yeah, that's a zombie down. So right now, this is happening. What are you going to do? Okay, we'll go with you, John.
It's basically the same as The Walking Dead zombies then, because that's like basically if you die in any form, you turn into a zombie, or if you
George Romero started it.
Yeah, well, I imagine it was inspired by his original work. So,
at what point did it change and become like if you get bitten, you turn?
I think that was all George Romero stuff. Like I think before his movies, like zombies were like, oh, that's a voodoo curse. That was their sort of mentality. So yeah, some witch doctor casts a spell on you, you become some undead creature that just acts on behalf of the witch doctor. But he decided to do this whole thing with society collapsing and bites and not knowing where it comes from and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I just mean, like, where did the origin of it being like, and you may just not know, and that's fine. But like, when did it become a thing to be like, oh, the way you turn into a zombie is you get bitten by a zombie, and if you die any other way, you're fine?
In that case, I think the first time I know of that is like the Dawn of the Dead remake by Zack Snyder. I think he said it's just bites.
Of course, it's Zack Snyder that has to go ruin
stuff. Another story for another day, Johnny.
Yeah, that is another video for another day. So did you say you wanted me to go first?
Yeah, let's hear about it, and we can all pick apart problems with your ideas and others.
I have not thought through this thoroughly. I just a couple of ideas I feel like are stuff I've seen in movies or shows where I was like, okay, yeah, I would probably do something like that. In World War Z, there's actually a point in the show where they're all on an aircraft carrier, and so they're out in the middle of the ocean. The only downside to that is if like someone on your ship got turned into a zombie, you'd all be done at that point. But yeah, just being like out in the middle of the ocean where the zombies can't get to you, and then in A Quiet Place Part 2, even though it's not zombies, there's this huge community of people that survived because they were on this island, and then the creatures couldn't get to them. So I would feel like either an island or like I would said before, where I would be out like up on a mountain out in the middle of nowhere, with like a fenced in area where I could grow crops and live off the land and everything. So
yeah, I mean, in Day of the Dead, that's like the third movie by George Romero. Some of the characters, and this is how the story ends, is that one of them's a helicopter pilot. They're operating in Florida, and they're like, okay, this went horribly, so they just go to an island off the Keys, and they just try to live life. Now, granted, I would say it wouldn't happen very often. Like, even if like the whole world is zombies, some zombies would probably just wash ashore and start hunting. But it wouldn't be like 1,000 at a time, so it would probably be entirely manageable for you. But yeah, but it's happening right now. How are you going to get to the coast? You're muted.
Mike's muted.
He has no plan. His plan is that he's totally quiet.
Sorry, guys.
That's a perfect plan, and we just weren't good enough to hear it.
That's
Yeah. So sorry. It turns out you need to unmute.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, definitely. I would ditch the any of the water ideas, like the island or the aircraft carrier, because obviously being where we are in the inland, I can't get there very fast. So probably the mountain idea. There's plenty of mountainous areas around here, so I just go hole up on a more isolated part of the mountainous terrain where I could, garden and stockpile and stuff and build me a fortress.
That's harder
Farmer John.
It's harder than credit for.
Yeah.
You had 2 little boys, so by the time they're teenagers, good luck farming enough food.
Yeah. That's true.
But then he's got extra hands to help, so
That better be helping.
Yeah, maybe we can make a bigger garden.
Yeah, I mean, if it truly is that mountainous, you might be able to survive off of it. But yeah, I mean, they could eventually come up the mountain. But yeah, the problem with the zombies is that they don't starve. So, they could try to win through attrition. That means you have one bad harvest. Okay, you will die of starvation and you'll become a zombie, but they won't. So you might have to venture off that mountain and hope for a better source of food. Yeah,
well, there's also squirrels and deer and stuff. So
I'll say the zombies don't starve, but they do rot. Eventually, they just fall apart.
Yeah, I was gonna say in George Romero's universe, they decay to a certain extent, but I want to say between the third movie and the fourth, which don't watch that one, there was 20-year span, and they're just as rotted as they were when they first started off.
Probably not the same zombies.
Well, when they all right, so the movie starts out with survivors that are in the city, and they're scoping out this area to raid, and the zombies. This is something that George Romero likes to do with the zombies. He likes to do them as a mirror, we're them and they're us kind of thing. So at the beginning, they're acting quote unquote human. A zombie that's wearing a band uniform is trying to play a tuba. I mean, obviously he can't do it, but he's just trying to. One zombie is a gas station attendant.
Don't you talk down about his dreams. He can be whatever he wants to be.
Okay, I don't think he's going to be going to Carnegie Hall. But yeah, one of them's a gas station attendant. When he hears the bell ring at this gas station, he walks out and just looks around and just walks back. But yeah, all that to say, they've been zombies for years at least. Dude,
an infinitely better way of handling zombies than everything else. Giving them each their own shred of who they were when they were a person.
Yeah, the main character described it as that they were trying to learn how to be us again. But yeah, I mean, I didn't like that part about his movies, but yeah, I can respect it. But yeah, I guess someone else can go. What about you, Crow?
I'm gonna be honest. Mine's pretty similar, but a little bit more specific. I think that the objective right answer is to go to an oil rig.
How are you going to get there?
Drive. Jump really hard. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're going to find an abandoned boat. I feel so you could easily find an abandoned boat or something,
Yeah.
But is he a sailor though? If it's a sailboat, do you know how to?
Do you know how to grow crops? Do you have seeds on you currently that you could take and grow?
It wasn't my plan to do that, by the way. It was John's plan up there. So yeah, don't.
I'm just saying, I don't know how atomic we're going with this. If it's like you have the resources you have right this second.
Yeah.
You have the skill set you have right this second.
Yeah, that's the idea right now.
The way this is going is that Samartian is telling us to tell him what we would do, and then he's going to play devil's advocate and tear it apart.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be a troll. I just like it's an intellectual exercise. Yeah, no, let's use our brains.
Right now, survival plan.
You got to get home to your
first thing I do is I don't know. I don't know if I go straight home. How at what point in this whole like cycle of this news spreading am I getting the news? That's an important question. Is it like
okay, that's fair.
I'm the last person finding out, and so I go to the store and it's like, oh, all the guns are gone. What the heck?
So
like I go there and I'm like, hey, I need like 2 shotguns and a bunch of
Okay, I mean that's a fair point. I would say like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. I thought he actually handled that quite well because the zombies are fast. They just like the main characters, they go to bed. Like there's some news reports that are happening when like towards the end of the main character's workday. She just turns it off, listens to music, then she watches TV with her husband. They go to bed, and then when they wake up, it's all over the Wisconsin or Milwaukee area. It's total chaos because they're just fast. But because these are slow zombies, that wouldn't happen that quick. I'd say, let's say that there's a lot of news reports on it, but they're probably just describing it as cannibalism. So I guess we'll give you that devil's advocate, but you suspect, Crow. You know better.
Cannibals have got to eat too, guys. Cannibals have got to eat too.
It's like me and a few others who are like going and getting prepped. First thing I probably do is go and like get stocked up. Get people that I love together, try and communicate like, hey, we're gonna have to like all get stuff. I know you think I'm crazy, but like, I'm of pretty sound mind. And let's see, I'm gonna be honest, there's a decent chance we all just get bombed.
Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want to stay in the city because if it's zombies won't kill you, rioting, looting will. Yeah, they're just as dangerous with society collapsing.
Yeah, so probably I don't know, man. I feel like getting to the coast is still a decent idea because then you've got 180 fewer degrees to watch from. And
you're also trapped if you're on the coast.
Yeah, but if you move somewhere like Hawaii or something, like if you lived in Hawaii, you'd be in like the perfect place because you can grow plenty of food there. And
zombies can be in Hawaii too. They can wash up ashore.
And miles and miles away from any other
population of Hawaii is very, low compared to here though. So like,
but they don't have guns to protect themselves.
Somebody's got guns in Hawaii.
Yeah, but you don't get a gun to kill these zombies. They're slow.
Mm-hmm. All you have to do is not get pushed into a gravestone nose first.
Yeah. Hey, that guy. Yeah, he didn't know what he was dealing with, and he paid the price.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I still think getting to the coast is the right idea. Like, if you've got a possible best option, I think that you're justified in going for that. Things are going to go wrong everywhere. Like, there's not really I don't think that right now there's a major advantage to staying somewhere where there's going to be like, it's going to be more inland, because that's the thing is it's like, yeah, you can get surrounded if you're on the coast, but you could also just get surrounded when you're not on the coast. So I think make it to the coast, keep an eye out for, possibilities where you can, start to move into a better and better position. I mean, if you don't take some risks, then like you're gonna just end up dying because you weren't willing to take opportunities when they were there.
That's a fair point.
Well, and I feel like if you look at like the only thing zombie I've watched in any sort of longitude is The Walking Dead, like the original series.
Mm-hmm.
So, because it's like I said before, that's just not really my thing. But I would say the biggest thing you learn is that there's not really any good people left, because all the good people kind of like you either kill or be killed kind of thing. It's very
Yeah.
ruthless and brutal. So you don't
Mm-hmm.
like all the heroes of the story or the main characters are not really good people. Like they've killed zombies, they've killed actual people to get to where they are
Yeah.
to protect the people they care about. So
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting concept. What
Mhm.
about you, Schultz? What do you think?
Well, for starters, zombie apocalypse did happen. I'm a welder, so I would be going straight to my work, actually, picking up a few welders, a bunch of tools. I would be going to a area like, I don't know, like a foresty area, probably with a creek, all that type of stuff. That's out of town, less population, so I don't have to deal with
Mm-hmm.
people. Take the loved one's family, good friends, stuff like that. But I mean, I would start building probably like a metal, perimeter kind of like around like our area, like a fence, a wall, pretty much by welding it and all that type of stuff. And reinforce a car. I mean, I could probably reinforce a car easily. I feel like with welding. I mean, it's not hard. Reinforce a car, stuff like that. Just make a perimeter around the base. I would be getting a backup generator. A bunch of stuff like vegetables, potatoes, all that type of stuff to be able to grow food. In case
You've thought way more about this than I have.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I thought about this stuff like way like before we even like talked about this. So like
Yeah.
in my bed, like sleeping, not sleeping, like I'm about to go to sleep, and I just think like,
what if
apocalypse were to happen, bro? Like,
just wait, y'all just wait.
So
like,
you're doing all of this with other welders?
no, it would probably just be
Okay.
me because I'm the only one that knows how to weld. Probably in my like family, friends.
I thought you were like at my work. I'm the only guy who knows how to weld.
No,
Like-
no. But yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I mean, I would just get like multiple vegetables and fruits type of stuff so I can grow stuff in case, because obviously like food runs out in the stores. So if you go out like trying to find stuff, it's going to run out eventually. So you're going to need something to have a backup plan to be able to eat and get protein and all that type of stuff. So that's why I would like try to like find a place that has like a creek as well, so I can go fishing if I need to. Also use like a water filter system to be able to get water. And yeah, and try to like set traps around the perimeter, all that type of stuff. Yeah, like weapons and stuff. I don't know. I mean, like I have an AR, I have a shotgun, I have a pistol and stuff. I mean, I know how to use them. I also have done a lot of research on how to pack my own bullets because I've always kind of wanted to do that so I can save money and not have to go and buy more ammo whenever I go out shooting. So like I kind of have
That's prudent.
decent idea on how to do that. So I would just have to go buy like I guess loot and steal a ammo packing kit. I mean, and I'm pretty sure I could probably figure that out. And if I don't, then
I mean, at this point, buying it is probably the better option, considering like the point at which you're finding this out. Because like, one, you're not going to need money, so you've got the ability to blow all of your savings.
That's fair. Yeah.
So like, just going and that way you're not putting any kind of a target on your back right away.
Yeah.
Kind of taking a low profile approach.
No, it's actually very fair, honestly. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in using money anymore because you don't need it. So yeah,
it's more useful as kindling at this point.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's very fair. Actually, I agree with that. But yeah, I'd say that, and then I guess like the whole ammo thing wouldn't work out. I'd probably get like kind of like Daryl Dixon, Walking Dead, has a crossbow. Those are easy to retrieve. Something that you won't ever run out of, really. Bow and arrow type stuff, but. Yeah, I think that probably be my plan.
That is a good point.
Also,
arm of a radio as well, just so I can like try to stay in contact with the outside world, like see how things are doing, probably. But I wouldn't be letting no one into my my camp and stuff like that. Like if someone tries knocking, they're dead on the spot. Sorry. Don't
Mhm.
care.
Oh, well, at least you're not being as bad as like players in DayZ, where if it's just another human being, oh yeah, die. Just as much of an enemy as the zombies.
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit here with the whole
Alright.
not letting anybody else in. What happens when like a big old group rolls up on you and they've got more people than you?
I mean, I would attempt to kill them. If I don't, I don't. I guess they kill me. I don't know what to tell you there.
Yeah.
You can always run away.
I
Like
mean, yeah, I
that's
can always run away, but like I'm not letting them in, regardless. So either one, they're dead, or I'm dead. Like that's just how it's gonna be. Like
It's also worth pointing out that probably the best. This is about to get kind of dark. Best thing to do in that scenario would be don't kill them, injure them. That way, they feel like they have to take care of each other, and you create way more problems for them.
Oh,
And if they let each other die, then they have to deal with each other being zombies.
yeah. I think they wouldn't be so interested in medical attention. A group that's like seasoned and had to deal with the destruction in society, they probably just let them rot.
Yeah. It's like in warfare, they talk about like wounded soldiers are way worse than having your soldiers die, because then it's like you've probably got like 2 or 3 people who are having to deal with that person at that point, and they're not really contributing anything anymore. So
Yeah.
So there you go. If I come to your camp, don't injure me. I gave you a really good I gave you some really good advice. I'll continue to provide you with strategies.
absolutely brutal.
You know what? I changed mine. I'm going with Schultz. Be your chief strategist.
Well, to rain on your guys' parade, I will say that the common psychological factor that happens in a situation like this is you're going to run home. You're going to think about your loved ones, and you're going to want to run to them because that's what you care about. You're just going to try to, they're your treasure, right? And where your treasure is, your heart is also. So,
well, that's why I said I take my loved ones and my good friends with me. So, like,
yeah,
there you go. I have.
You're going to have to get them. And that's probably when you're going to be most vulnerable, is when you're trying to rally them. And if they don't want to go with you, you're going to have to deal with that too. But
no, that's
all right, Scuzzle, whatever you want to call it.
All right. So, there's a group of us, probably 10 or 12, that we've got like I don't know what you'd call it, just like hey, if something's if world's ending, whatever you want to call it, we're all meeting up. We're going to the nearest Walmart distribution center, and we're taking about as many of the big trucks as they got full of stuff, and we're coming back here, or back to rural area we've got set aside to come back, and we're just lining all those trucks up as we empty them on the road. So,
yeah,
do you guys have the proper licensure for that? I think you gotta have some sort of a special driver's license. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Well,
at that point,
if you're gonna have to, your timing is gonna have to be crucial, because like if you do it right when it happens, the police could still be in force. And yes, to Crow's point, your licensure does matter, because if they pull you over, oh, you're just looting. Well, it's mayhem. I'll just shoot you and just dump the body in the ditch. And the law will be harsh in that case. But
Someone tells me that Drew and his crew are just going to roll right on through that barricade like nothing's stopping
no
them.
comment.
I will say this does remind me of, oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. It's a British show. It has to do with like a super flu agent that kills like 99.9% of the population. And one of the characters early on this series, that's effectively what he does. He just lives in a distribution center, and that's how he lives life.
Only reason I wouldn't say we would hole up at a distribution center. It's because the closest one's like an hour, not quite an hour 45 minutes away. But if you can get there, you can drive the big trucks back.
Yeah. Yep. Well, as long as the pandemic isn't in full swing and there's like
Right.
legions of zombies on the road, I think you'd be
It would
fine.
have to be like not just started. It would have to be economy collapsed because we'd all have to get together first too. So
Yeah, that's a fair point, and it's smart that you're going to the distribution center and not to the stores because that's where like everyone and their mom is going is the stores because that's what they think of. They don't think of the distribution center of how it gets to there.
distribution centers got more a lot of times.
Yeah, that's a smart point. As long as you know where it is and you can be quick about it, I think your plan will work.
All
I
right,
know
all right,
that.
Samartian, what's your plan?
Oh,
Tell us the correct choice.
Yeah,
well, it may not be the correct choice. It's kind of what I was saying before. When the crap hits the fan, you want to run home. And honestly, my current apartment is probably more strategically sound than where I would go because it's on the second floor. What I can do is destroy the steps to the second floor. If I ever want to leave, I just run a rope down or maybe get a ladder. But yeah, you can have 1,000 zombies in my apartment complex. None of them can climb. So yeah, I can just sit there and just eat my food and just be with my supplies. But, I'd probably go try to help my brother. He would want to get back to his family. And yeah, I mean, he needs all the help he can get. I look at him, but yeah, I probably would do that, and that would probably end up getting me killed. But he has children. I would want it. I would want him to be reunited to his family.
Mm-hmm. Here's my question for you.
Okay,
you can feel free to not answer this if it will get you in trouble with the ATF. How are you going to destroy the stairs?
Stairs aren't they're not made out of concrete. They're made out of wood. I can just get it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, just get a sledgehammer or an axe and just destroy him.
Yeah,
go to town on the stairs.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be taking a shotgun and just shooting out the stairs to the ATF chagrin.
Let's be honest, that's way more cinematic than an axe or anything.
But yeah, but it also, and I was going to bring this point out with Schultz, but because he was bringing up using a crossbow, sound draws them. So yeah, I mean, if the pandemic isn't in full swing, if there's some around still, and I start shooting my stairs because I don't want to use a freaking axe. Yeah, okay. Well, now I have to deal with them, and they might be trying to come up the stairs, and now I have a fight on my hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are you gonna do when you run out of supplies?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are you gonna do when you run out of supplies and all that type of stuff? Because obviously you can't you could do vegetables in your apartment, I guess, but it'd be kind of harder to do that.
Okay, now, as a hobby, I do prepping stuff. I read books on it. This is gonna make everyone seem like I'm crazy.
Your
But
hobby is a doomsday prepper.
yeah, it's what I do. But so I have months worth of food and water that I can use. I don't have this just for prepping, but yeah, I do have a portable battery unit that I can use solar panels on. So even if I wanted to use energy, to use a heater, because what if this were to happen during the winter, for example, that actually would throw a giant wrench, and I think in Schultz and John's plans, because if it's winter, you're not harvesting anything. You're not going to be able to hunt much of anything either because all the animals would have gone into hibernation. Either you have a large stockpile.
Deer are out during the cold weather.
I thought they migrate, though. They might have migrated out of the area to warmer climate like Louisiana or Florida.
Hunting season here is November to February. So that's the coldest part of the year.
Bow season actually started last week.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try that, but remember, if there's any other survivors, they're thinking the same thing in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people. There's not a lot of people where I'd be going.
The biggest thing that will keep you alive is going to be getting a group. and your organization as a group.
Yeah.
I read some of those books. Don't have a whole lot of time to read them right now with a 1-year-old, but there's one. It's called Black Autumn, and like that's the whole premise of the book. Is like there's a bunch of preppers, but like they've paid like a due, I guess is what you would call it, pay their dues to be part of this. They call it the homestead, and they go out. It's in Utah, so the Mormon Church is a big deal. It's not zombies; it's just like a economic collapse. So
Yeah,
but they all go out. All these people go out there, and there's like doctors and nurses and everything, outdoorsmen and Army guy, like Navy SEALs, and like they have like perimeters, and like they put up signs, and if you cross the sign, you get a warning shot, and if you don't take the warning shot, then you just get domed. So
I feel like it's Goozle, you'd probably agree with me here, but like I feel like just stocking up a bunch of MREs would be really beneficial because those things last for forever.
It's not very good.
They're not very good, but they'd keep you alive.
Some of them heard of pretty good, honestly.
Peanut butter and crackers are the best thing you can get out of an MRE. Okay.
Well, there you go. We've officially solved the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
So congratulations, everyone.
I would like to propose the alternative to join the winning team. It sounds like that's the real option that Samartian's trying to push us towards.
Yeah,
that's really what he's trying to get.
You
us
realize from now on you will be Samartian, regardless.
No, I'm gonna get it right next time if I'm ever back on the podcast.
It doesn't matter. You will be Samartian from all.
But here's what I'm saying though: he's trying to be like, your guys' plans, they're not gonna work. You should just give up so that my plan works a little better.
I'm just trying to help you have a good idea. That's all I'm trying to do.